Whenever I see my neighbor, I'm overcome by hatred. I hate this about myself. How do I stop? Okay, so most of us have this in our life where we have some person, whether it's a neighbor or a family member or a coworker, that just really triggers us up. And we go into this dark side of ourself that we really, really dislike. My advice here is probably not going to be that popular. But what I want to say to you is embrace your dark side. Embrace that part of yourself. Stop resisting it and disliking this part of yourself. And instead, reach out to that part with a lot of love and a lot of compassion. Get interested. So what'll happen is, maybe you're pulling into your driveway and you see that neighbor and you feel this come up over you. Take a little bit of space and sit with yourself and say to the part that's upset, what is it that you hate about her? And then just write down the answer. And then freely judge it up. Tell me more about that. Write it down. What do you judge her as? Let that list just fly. Bitch, asshole, mean, unkind, grouchy, always complaining. Whatever it is, just let that list rip. And then one by one, this is the hard part. One by one, ask yourself if you're willing to own the mirror. Look at each judgment and then ask yourself, with a lot of self-acceptance and neutrality, how does this judgment relate to me? Have I ever judged myself as this? Has anybody else ever judged me as this? Do I believe God judges me as this? Have I ever seen this in my childhood and it made me very uncomfortable and I judged it as bad or wrong? The judgment is going to somehow resonate with you. I remember one time I was in an organization, a volunteer organization, and there was a woman that just really, really, really stirred me up. And she was so controlling and so arrogant and so self-righteous. I hated her for about a year, and then I had to own the projection of judgment. And when I was able to fully look in that mirror and say to myself, wow, in the past, I used to judge myself as self-righteous, and other people judged me as self-righteous. And there were times in my life where I was a know-it-all. I thought I knew everything, and people didn't like to be around me. I had this arrogance about me. And when I caught on to it, I stopped that behavior, but I felt a sense of shame around being that way in the world, and I didn't want to look at myself. I just kind of pushed that part under the rug and moved on into some more humility. So this was an opportunity for me to kind of go back in time and love that younger part of me up and say to her, wow, it's okay, it's all right. You don't have to feel ashamed. You haven't done anything wrong. You were just learning and growing. You were going through a phase where you had some information that you wanted to share and you were very excited about it and you didn't know how you came off to other people. And you didn't understand that there wasn't a right way and a wrong way. And so I was just able to just apply some compassion to that part of myself. If you do this, if you look at each judgment, see how it resonates inside of you. See where it's locked in your own consciousness, where you've been judging yourself this way. You're going to hit a painful pocket of stored energy, and you're going to want to pour the compassion onto that until it softens, dissipates, and leaves your body. Once you've let go of the painful energy inside of your own consciousness related to this outside mirror, this person will cease to trigger you. You'll see this neighbor and you'll just feel neutral, centered, and completely loving. And you'll have compassion for whatever is going on for that other person. Many blessings of joy and vibrant freedom.